Hello, everyone. Life Notifications, episode 6. Reaching out. It is February 1st, Sunday morning, about 7 a.m. I was thinking about doing this at like 3 a.m. Today, not today, February 1st, but today, event wise, is one of my favorite random sporting events, self dates, if you want to call it that, self traditions, if you want to call it that, and that is the men's Australian Open final. So, waking up early to watch the final, sometimes back in the day, just riding through the whole night. Maybe with some PEDs to help. Liquid form. I would just, we would go out and then I would just stay up. The 2017 Australian Open final remains my favorite tennis match of all time and one of the best nights, mornings, whatever you want to call it, ever, going into the next day, where I remember we got hit by snow and I was able to call into work, or work basically got canceled because my Wi-Fi was out. But it was like a really believable story. Anyways, spoiler alert: Alcaraz won. Very high stakes match this morning. Joker going for his already record, but being the oldest versus the youngest guy to complete the Grand Slam. And speaking of tennis, I just said it. Here's a new piece of artwork, the 2017 final that I've got behind me. So I used to have some plants back there. So I've got my old dog. I've got the new artwork. Anyways, this week I wanted to try and get back to the basics. I feel I've delved a little into maybe more philosophizer mode, which is cool. I'm not ashamed. Like, I don't think those other episodes were bad at all. I just wanted to focus once again, like, let's get back to the fundamentals. What am I noticing about what is clearly different in my life, whether it's in my actions or whether it's in the way the world is presenting itself to me now that I have my screen time down to about, under 2 hours, usually under 90 minutes a day. And when I am using my flip, and my phone being a flip phone, and when I do have screen time, goodness, am I sticking to my rules of how is this making me better? Chess app, the Speak app, crypto investment apps, which could be making me worse or better. That's kind of I get it. And then, like, when I check Instagram, is it deliberate? I still prefer to use it on my laptop, but am I checking, I have no DMs from friends, let's get off there. Let's avoid the brain rot. Let's avoid short form content. Twitter, am I using it productively? Am I following the right people? Am I sticking to a window? Like, hey, you've got 10 minutes before bed to look at it. Once the screen time notifier hits, be done with it. Am I breaking those rules? So let's get back to the fundamentals. Let's talk about, maybe that's the goal of this episode, at least, and the next couple. What are some changes I'm noticing? And I'm going to use a sports analogy. I'm making my layups. Once again, this doesn't necessarily mean better or worse with the change from iPhone to flip phone primarily. It's just something that I'm noticing. I am making my layups. What does that mean? I'm doing the obvious things, right? And time to task has shrunk. If there's something on my to-do list, doing it. Making my layups. What does that mean? I think we all kind of know what we need to do to kind of get the results we want. We don't always do that. And sometimes I think we put it off as a way to, like, at least for me, I would put it off almost like when I finally do that, I'll get the results I want. And the reality of that is, when you finally do it, you don't get the results you want immediately, but you take a step towards them. So Diet. I know I should count my calories. I should, I know what's healthy. I know what's not. I don't know what it is, but like it's a lot easier to just kind of make the simple meals consistently, time over time. Let's say there's someone you're interested in. You know you should ask them out, or you know that it may be a thing. What's holding you back? I think speaking from personal experience, and maybe that's not a good analogy. Maybe we're thinking of like a restaurant you want to go to, or a trip you want to go to, place you want to go to. If you were to ask me, where do I want to travel? Who do you want to ask out? Like there may be an answer immediately, but because of Instagram or because of this, now it's like, oh, this is now on my list. Like one of my little moments of 10 minutes of Twitter yesterday, I screenshotted a recommendation for a place that someone put, and it's in Malaysia, and I had never heard of it until the tweet yesterday. Never heard of it. But now it's on my list. I didn't even do a Google search. I just trusted this person who I don't even know what they look like. Like their avatar is I think it was a digital photo of a penguin. Make your layups, hit your 5-foot putts. All right, you know what you need to do. Don't let, like what I was doing was letting Instagram or letting that abundance mindset kind of impact my list. And once again, when that list or when that thing that I'm interested in expanded, then I would end up once again not doing anything. So where do you want to travel to? Oh, I love New York. I love New Orleans. I've always wanted to go to Barcelona. I've always wanted to go to Wimbledon. Okay, that's 4. That's probably unrealistic. But the blink test, I said those really quick. That's where I need to set my goals to go maybe in the next year. And then I can start going down the line. Oh, I've always wanted to go to Japan. I want to go watch sumo. These are things I legitimately want to do in my life. I want to go to Japan. I want to try their food. I want to watch sumo. I want to watch Japanese wrestling. Where does that actually fit in the priority list? And that one would take more money. Is it a high enough priority that I'm going to start saving to then do it? Or do I want to just make sure I check off the boxes of other things? Because when your list gets too long and then you end up doing nothing. So once again, I started talking to you, the greater you. Once again, this is things that I am noticing my brain, a thing that has come to my brain that it sounds like scarcity mindset. It's not meant to be. I mean, I say it to myself. It's both it actually is a confidence booster, and it's a reminder to myself to focus on the priorities and hit my layups. You can do anything, but you can't do everything. I tell myself that all the time. You can do anything, but you can't do everything. And that doesn't mean what here, let's start with what it does mean, the way I interpret it. If I set a high goal for my career, I can do it, but I can't do it if I'm trying to do 5 other things with my career. And there needs to be like a strategic mindset, right? Like I can't be the best seller, maybe be the best partnerships person. So you can do anything, but you can't do everything. If there's somebody you have a crush on, you can pull whoever, but you can't pull everyone. Because if you spread your energy across too many things, then you're going to have problems. You can do anything, but you can't do everything. If your goal is to, like I've mentioned tennis, I've mentioned chess, I've got the piano behind me. If I wanted to be amazing at one, I would need to probably allocate my time towards that, change a few other things. You can do anything, you can't do everything. I don't think I could be a pro tennis player. I mean, obviously at this age anyways, and a pro piano player. You can do anything, can't do everything. So, but I do think if I just focused on one of them, I mean, I'm changing my bar a little bit, but like I could be on stage, maybe playing piano one day, or maybe like a 45 and up. That gives me some time. It gives me like a decade to get ready for that. So it doesn't mean to be scarcity mindset. It's something I say to myself, and it oddly gives me a lot of encouragement and confidence, because it just reminds me to do the obvious thing. And when you do the obvious thing, then the next obvious thing appears. When I had my phone, maybe even if I took the first step of doing the obvious thing, I would find there would be a distraction that would come up. And it would just take me longer. Time to task. So starting something, time to task is going down, and then the next obvious thing is seeming more obvious. All right, so I'm going to, once again, that's some differences that I'm noticing now that I'm going. I actually, down the line, I want to talk about some things that I might miss with the phone and with the screen time as well. But I wanted to get back to fundamentals. What am I noticing that's different? Shout out to Carlos Alcaraz, by the way. I think that's going to be my shout out of the week. We got my offline moment of the week. I was trying to decide. I think I can mix my shout outs in to a little bit of like my offline moments. Let's do offline moment of the week. So speaking of hobby maxing, you can do anything, you can't do everything. I have taken up singing lessons. Fun. This is one where I think there's a definite ceiling on my talent. We kind of ran into it again. So the main song that I've been practicing with my teacher, "Deeper Than the Holler" by Randy Travis. Beautiful song, beautiful country song. My kind of dream with this is like to go to this karaoke bar in Austin called Egos and rip a great performance. It wouldn't be of "Deeper Than the Holler," although I may need to be thinking of that. But I was thinking "I Need to Know" by Mark Anthony would really get the people going. I practiced it a little. She kind of like worked up with me to like make it my own. But after, she was like, "It's really, really high. You may want to like think about, maybe there's something." All right, so there's the high, I think is tenor, and then the low, maybe baritone. She said I was like somewhere in the middle. Soprano, maybe? I don't know. Maybe I'm a baritone, soprano, I don't know. She said I was somewhere in the middle, but then this one was so high it would be tough for my pitch. So when we were practicing it, she was like encouraging me to go low, and I felt like like I was doing like a Dracula like basically what Jason Segel is doing in Forgetting Sarah Marshall when he's doing the Dracula musical. I was like, I need to know. Which it was a really good intention. She was trying to get me to meet like where my pitch could meet to sound still good on the song. But sometimes it's hard for me to not crack up in that. The teacher is fantastic. She's doing what she's meant to do. But that was a fun offline moment of the week. So, Dracula musical featuring Mark Anthony coming to Egos hopefully in the next month or two. Shout outs: Carlos Alcaraz, youngest I think maybe ever, men's and women's, I don't know, but definitely the youngest men's tennis player ever complete the Grand Slam, career Grand Slam, 22. And then I had an amazing meal yesterday, Kanji, here in Austin, Canje. Speaking of like time to task, I've got a restaurant list here in Austin. You know what happened? I mentioned this in the past episode. I've looked at this list without doing anything or going to a lot of these places for a long time. This has been near the top, so I finally went. Self-Date, highly recommend those. Self-Date, 5 p.m. right when they open. Got a spot at the bar. Here was the order: appetizers, ceviche, delicious, albacore tuna, dragon fruit, peppers, coconut, peanuts. My peanuts. That's what I'm talking about. It was fantastic. The white dragon fruit was so good in that. And the peppers were too. It was beautiful. and delicious. There were so many flavors in all the dishes. I also got Kanji's Caribbean, by the way. So I also got beef patties. Beef patties for an appetizer. It came with like a red curry sauce. Oh my god, so good. I kept that sauce for later. Big shout out to the bartender. I was deciding between curry, which is gonna have Wagyu beef, potatoes, cabbage, and like their soup sauce. So I was deciding between curry and the wild boar pepper pot. That's actually not true. I knew I was getting the wild boar pepper pot, which I got, and it was incredible. I couldn't decide if I should get 2 entrees or just get the one and like save it for later. So I got the wild boar pepper pot. It's like, maybe I'll get the curry near the end of the meal. I'll get it to go, or if I'm still hungry. What the fuck? The bartender, they brought me a little bit of the curry in a mini serving. That was so kind. It was so good. So I got to try it. It was amazing. I thought I would have both, and then it would be like, now I know exactly which one I like more. Nope. I love them both. So when I return, I'll probably just order both. We also got the person sitting next to me. She got half a jerk chicken. She didn't finish it. She offered me her leg of the chicken. Oh, she offered me her chicken leg, that she had not touched. I ate it. It was amazing. That was the other thing on the menu that had caught my eye. It was really spicy. Spicier than I expected, but really good as well. The whole chicken would have had me feeling like I hit a mouth sauna. So, wild boar pepper pot, curry with Wagyu beef, jerk chicken, all delicious. I got some coconut rice. I was like dipping it in the curry or like dipping it in the like mapley wild boar pepper pot sauce. And I'd bite the roti. I got a thing of roti. That was incredible too. Tres leches cake for dessert. Real quick ranking of desserts. Tres leches, tiramisu. That's pretty much all you need for desserts. Like ice cream, of course, affogatos, McFlurries, Blizzards. We're just thinking like, and I've got my creamy, I can get weird with it. But tres leches, tiramisu, those are the top 2 desserts. Then we can start talking about the red velvet cakes, banana pudding, strawberry shortcake. But those are the top 2. All right. I had an athletic non-alcoholic hazy IPA, a Diet Coke, ice water. Just an unbelievable dining experience. Highly recommended. Big shout out to them. Thankful to them for letting me try a mini curry, and the person sitting next to me for letting me try some fried chicken. And I've got a great immune system. I don't care. I'll eat off another person's plate. Okay. Good episode. Let's get back to the fundamentals. Make your layups. I'm going to go have a great Sunday. I'm going to have like 30,000 steps. Might pop into a service, try and learn some more. Prep for work tomorrow. We got a high of 60 here in Austin, so that should be a lot of outside time, even though it's 25 right now. Congrats to Carlos. Thanks everyone for watching. Leave a comment. Leave some advice for what I can do better next episode. Appreciate y'all. Have a great day.